Hey, this is Everyone's Best Podcast. This is your host with the most, Ryan. And you will notice something very different. I'm very big on your screen if you're watching on YouTube, because it is just me. Yes, the man in the pits with the tits is away on pressing business, and it's just been left up to me to host a show on my own. And this is the first time I've done it on my own, and jeez. I mean, I'm not that entertaining when there's two of us, so I don't know how I'm going to do this now. So what I thought I'd do is, I thought I'd just go through some of the latest news. Are you all right with that, guys? And give my BS opinion on it all. And then after that, I'm going to do some predictions on next year's drivers' lineup. So are we all right for that? Well, I don't hear you saying no. So let's first of all go to Pit Talk. Pit Talk. Okay, there's the Pit Talk intro. Okay, so to bounce this off of. So I'm just going to go to screen share. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm terribly sorry. Brendan will apologise profusely later when he comes back on next week. So I'm going to go be sharing the screen. So I'll be reading a lot of news out that you guys probably know anyway, but I like to give my opinion on it. So I'm going to share the screen here. Do this. Which one shall I share? Desktop 2. And I'm going to go through some of this week's news items. Okay, I'm going to go for the easy ones first. Okay, so we'll go for Yuki Tsunoda to remain with AlphaTauri for 2023. Now, I don't think he's worth it. I really don't. And I don't know what you guys think. I think this is a mistake by AlphaTauri. I mean, it's just not had the results. I don't understand why they want to keep going with him. Let's read the news article. This is on the BBC, so it's about as official as it can get on the BBC, isn't it, when it comes to F1 news. Obviously, every other kind of news is a load of rubbish. Right, so Japanese Yuki Tsunoda, not Japanese driver Yuki Tsunoda, just Japanese Yuki Tsunoda will remain at Red Bull's AlphaTauri team for a third season in 2023. The 22-year-old has measured up well enough compared to his teammate Pierre Gasly. I don't think so. This season to retain his seat. Yuki is a very talented driver and has improved a lot this season, team principal Franz Tost said. I just don't think he has. I just think he likes him. That's all it is. He just says he likes naughty boys. I think that was a quote from him, which I find a little bit creepy, to be honest. But okay, Tost. Maybe it's lost in translation. Maybe that's it. But for me, any grown man who says he likes naughty boys. Anyway, Tost, whose team are fundamentally in existence as part of the Red Bull drivers in existence. I don't know why that makes me laugh. As part of the Red Bull driver development program to blood new talent. Oh God, who's written this? To blood new talent, said a driver needs at least 3 years to fully get to grips with F1. So I'm pleased he's been given the time to show his full potential. Well, he's right. When I used to start watching F1, guys, it just, you'd have these drivers that just poodle along at the back for like 10 years, never getting anywhere. Maybe they didn't get the breaks in the big teams, but they were rubbish as well. They were well renowned, like Andrea De Cesaris. Never got anywhere. And he must have been driving for, oh my God, over a decade in Formula One. His best result. Do you know what? I'm going to find out. This is my show now. I can't be told off for being distracted because this is my deal. Andrea, why is that there? I can't stop sharing, so let's just do this and do this. Andrea De Cesaris. Andrea De Cesaris. he's probably dead, and I'm probably besmirching him. Is that the word? Let's have a look. So Andrew de Tezris. Oh, he is dead. Oh God, now I feel bad. Andrew de Tezris was an Italian racing driver. He started Formula One Grand Prix, but never won. He never won anything. As a result, he holds the record for the most races started without a race victory. A string of accidents early in his career earned him the reputation for being a fast but wild driver. Let's see his highest result in F1. Formula One, Alfa Romeo. Let's see results. Give me the table. Formula One. 17th. He came 8th, 17th, 32nd, 14th. Oh no, I'm reading those. Well, you can see it. I'm sharing the screen. Just dreadful. But he all the way up until 1994, the guy was racing. I don't know what his highest result was in a race. If anyone wants to leave that in the comments, that's fine. But he just was there forever. From 1982, no, 1980, all the way to 2004, he was in Formula One. That's like 14 years of no success. So, different times, people, different times. Let's get back to the story. Where were we? Poor old Yuki. Decisions on the AlphaTauri driver lineup are made by Red Bull's motorsport advisor, Helmut Marko. Are they? Tsunoda said he was grateful for Red Bull's faith, adding, having moved to Italy last year to be closer to the AlphaTauri factory, I really feel part of the team, and I'm glad that I get to carry on racing with them in 2023. In theory, Tsunoda will be partnered again in 2023 by Frenchman Gasly. Now, we're going to talk about this later. It's not looking like it is going to be him, who AlphaTauri have already announced is under contract for next season. As we all know this year, contracts mean nothing in Formula One. You could have 4 contracts and still end up on the sidelines, apparently, with a massive big fat check if your name is Ricardo. Okay, Alonso preferred not to move. Sorry, jumping ahead, people. However, Gasly is said to be the number 1 target for Alpine following the French team's loss of both Fernando Alonso and the reserve driver Oscar Piastri last month. Alonso preferred to move to Aston Martin when Alpine would not offer the terms he wanted. He just kept saying he was too old. It's pretty much what it was. If you keep telling the guy he's too old, he's going to go, I'm going to go to a team that's not telling me that. Marko is understood to be prepared to let Gasly go to Alpine if he can find an acceptable alternative. And the leading candidate is said to be Dutchman Nick de Vries, as we know, the super sub himself. I'm telling you now, Hulkenberg should have been watching that. Anyway, Marko had wanted to sign IndyCar driver Colton Herta, but the 22-year-old was deemed way too ugly. Sorry. The 22-year-old American does not have sufficient points under his F1 license qualifying system to be allowed to race. I'm sorry, that was terrible of me. Governing body, the FIA, has indicated that he's not willing to make an exception in Herta's case. Even though he is 7-time IndyCar winner and regarded as one of the hottest talents in the US. It's just this stuff. Hottest talents. Anyway, stop. Just hear it so many times about what in F1 you do. Oh, he's a future champion. He's a future champion. 2 seasons later, he's out. De Vries, who is a Mercedes reserve driver and impressed as on oh my God, I can't read out loud. It's terrible. I'll try that again. De Vries, who is a Mercedes reserve driver and impressed on a one-off debut for Williams. You've only got to finish second from last to impress on the Williams. Boom, boom. At the Italian Grand Prix after Alex Albon became ill with an appendicitis is also of interest to Alpine. I think, and I think Nicholas Latifi loved that race. The Dutchman is one of a number of drivers undergoing an evaluation in a 2021 Alpine at the Hungaroring this week. I've been reading a lot about this little test. The test is private, and the team have released no information about it, but their protege and Formula 2 driver Jack Doohan, son of MotoGP legend Mick Doohan, is also believed to be taking part. Okay, so that's that story about our old friend Yuki Tsunoda. Well, he's not old. He looks about 15. But that's a story about Yuki Tsunoda. So let's go on to a bit of Red Bull. I've not read these in advance, so forgive me if, one, I can't read, and two, let's just zoom in here. Can't seem to. There we go. That's all about both sides. There's a picture of Colton Herta there in the corner. I'm sorry if you're on the podcast, you can't see it. Just go over to YouTube. Just sign up. You can watch it and listen to it. You can put it on in the background. Anybody got any comments, by the way? For the love of God, someone comment. It's just me now. Okay. So here's a story about Oscar Piastri, our old friend, our snake in the woods. I can't work this guy out. Just can't work it out. Can't work out whether it's utter genius what he's done, or it's completely the most stupid thing he's done ever. Can't. It's one of the two. Because if you've got Christian Horner has revealed, I'll just start reading, Wayne, for Christ's sake. Christian Horner has revealed how Red Bull passed up the chance to sign Oscar Piastri to their junior program several years ago, admitting that it remains something I regret. Why is the hype so much around this guy? All right, he's won everything. But how much driving has he done in an F1 car? Piastri made the headlines amid a dispute between McLaren and Alpine. This is F1, the F1 official website, by the way, I'm reading from. So, no, it's going to be right, isn't it? It's F1. Piastri recently made the headlines amid a dispute between McLaren and Alpine over which team held the right to hand the Australian his Formula One debut in 2023, with the Contract Recognition Board ultimately ruling in favour of McLaren. And I think he's going to regret that. I can't see McLaren doing very well. I don't know. It came after Piastri climbed the junior ranks with Alpine, winning the F3, F2 titles along the way, and acted as a reserve driver behind full-time racers Fernando Alonso, old man Fernando, and Esteban Ocon. Asked for his take on the situation in the latest episode of F1's Beyond the Grid podcast, yes, whatever, it's rubbish podcast, Horner revealed that Red Bull could have snapped up Piastri's services in the past when the youngster was progressing through Formula 4 and Formula Renault with Arden, the team founded by Horner and his father, Gary. This is a quote from Christian Horner here, okay? I'll not do the voice. There was an opportunity for Red Bull to look at him at the same time, and we didn't take up that option, which is something that I regret. What he went on to achieve is phenomenal in Formula 3 and Formula 2, Horner commented. I read that really badly. I don't know why. It didn't sound like it flowed. Let's do it again. Christian Horner states, there was an opportunity for Red Bull to look at him at the time, and we didn't take up that option, which is something that I regret. What he went on to achieve is phenomenal in Formula 3 and Formula 2, Horner commented. That's better, isn't it? Asked for his take on the tug of war over the young driver between McLaren and Alpine, Horner said, now, if he'd have been a driver here, there is no way that he wouldn't have been under lock and key for a period in time. I wasn't party to the situation. It's difficult to judge what was promised or reneged on and so on, but it certainly was unexpected, probably from several areas. Horner added that he would be watching on with interest when Piastri makes the step up to Formula One and races alongside Lando Norris. Yeah, we'll soon see now. Oh, listen to me. Whom he very much rates after 4 competitive seasons in the sport. Piastri's a great driver. The only problem he now has to deal with is the expectation on him will be immense. Absolutely. And this is the problem. I don't know if he's made a rod for his own back, this young boy. He's going to have to get in and deliver against Lando, which is no mean feat. But you either sink or swim in this business. Those kind of statements, you either sink or swim. They're just so obvious, aren't they? He's a very, very capable driver, so I'm sure he's going to do very well. Well, good luck to him. A snake. Anyway, let's have a look at this one here. This is about Nick de Vries. This is on Sky Sports. Nick de Vries, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen praise F1 hopeful as Red Bull rumours swirl for 2023. When they say Red Bull, they don't mean Red Bull. They mean AlphaTauri. Okay? He's not going to go. He's not going to jump in. He's not going to kick out Verstappen, is he? Go, come on out you get. Nick de Vries has confirmed that he met with Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko last week, with the Dutchman a contender to replace Pierre Gasly at AlphaTauri. So he told you. Mercedes insists their reserve, who shone at the Italian Grand Prix as Alex Albon's replacement, deserves a seat in Formula One. Well, I do think so. I mean, grabbed out of having a cup of coffee, say, do you want to race? I think he did a sterling job. Lewis and Max lavished Nick de Vries with praise. The way I'm reading it, I'm sorry. Lewis and Max lavished Nick de Vries with praise for his performance in his F1 debut, with rumours now swirling that the Dutchman is edging towards a full-time race seat for 2023. He's edging towards it, just, closer, edging. De Vries filling in for Alex Albon. Oh God, these news reports just repeat themselves over and over. It's like they've got a word count and there's no news. I mean, you could do this in one paragraph, couldn't you? Get on with it. Right. Nick de Vries filling in for Alex Albon as he battled an appendicitis. Oh, really didn't know that. You only just told me that 10 seconds ago. Stop. Proved a superb debut at the Italian Grand Prix as he managed Williams' joint best result of the season. Oh, Nicholas Latifi. Jesus Christ. I bet you didn't want to get out. Didn't want to take his helmet off. Oh, here we go. But here's the articles really kicking it in Latifi's nuts now. GP, as he managed Williams' joint best result of the season in ninth, beating seasoned teammate Nicholas Latifi. I'm going to put the music on now. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. This is for Nicholas Latifi. I'm jumping ahead here, but poor old Nicky. Another Nicky. It's the name. I've just realised. Oh dear. Oh, dearie. Nicholas Latifi. Okay, that's enough. It's been a long time coming for de Vries, who has claimed Formula 2 and Formula E titles in his established career, but had been patiently waiting to step up from his Mercedes reserve duties in F1. Oh, I like this kid. I think he was beautifully humble. None of that shenanigans like Piastri. Incredibly happy for Nick. I'm very proud of him, Mercedes driver Hamilton said at Monza. He's such a good lad. A good human. A good human. Well done for being a good human. And he's been a good part of our team working with us. For Nick to have jumped in and finished in the top 10, that's mega for your first race. Where did Hamilton finish in his first race? He was in a McLaren, though, back in the day when they were good. You remember those days? Lewis Hamilton, first race. Yeah, but he wants to test. Back in the day of testing, wasn't it? 6th. He finished 6th in his first race. No. That's the last race, you wally. Well, it's not, yeah, let's have a look. What year was Lewis Hamilton's first race? First entry, the Australian Grand Prix in 2007. Let's do this. First race, where did he finish? I know he was right up there when he was on the starting line, front line, wasn't he? Let's have a look. Oh, see now, Lewis Hamilton had an electrifying first race, didn't he? Let's have a look. He finished fourth in the first. Oh, no, it's qualifying. Come on. I'm just looking on Wikipedia to anyone listening on the podcast. Race results. He finished on the podium. That's not bad. That's where I want Oscar Piastri, or he's written off for me. The guys have got to be on the podium out of all this hype and this brown nosing by all these blooming team managers. He's got to be on the podium for me. Anyway, what one was that? Oh, what's this? Wow, that's the Nick de Vries story. Okay, let's do that. Red Bull have planned. Oh, here we go. What's this one? This is motorsport.com. Okay, it's about Red Bull. Red Bull had planned DTM outing for F1 aspirant? Aspirant? The hell? Come on, who wrote this? Just use words that people can understand. They're more motorsport fans. They're not blooming English lit professors. They're aspirant. Having ambitions to achieving something. Aspirant? Aspirant. Oh, hold on.
Aspirant.
Anyway, where were we? Oh, well, there we go. Red Bull planned for F1 aspirant Colton Herta. He's not. I don't know what. There's just something about his face. Is it bad to say he's got a hippie face? I don't know. Red Bull have firm plans to field IndyCar race winner Colton Herta in this weekend's DTM races in Austria as part of its effort to get him into Formula 1. It does emerge, only for the guest entry to be aborted at short notice. It's been ditched already. According to motorsport.com's sister title, Motorsport Total, gendered, Red Bull was going to enter an additional Ferrari 488 GT3 for American drive. This is all about getting his points, isn't it? Because that's probably looks. I don't know what that is, but what's GT3? I'm sorry, guys. I know nothing about any other kind of motorsport except Formula One. What is GT3? I'll go out of the way here. Can I move this thing? Okay, there you go. Right. What is GT3? What are you racing there? I mean, yeah, that's not about getting Formula One experiences, to be honest. Get back to the story, Wayne. Okay. Where were we? Okay. Zunter, the Red Bull went as far as applying for the wildcard outing, which was approved by the DTM. The plan was to communicate Herta's guest outing to the public only a few days before the race. The big thing is he's American, isn't it? And one of the big sponsors on Red Bull is American. So it's all this kind of like, can we get an American in our car? We'll sell more stuff. I don't even know what Oracle do. You can't get it on the telly anymore, I know that. Which is to prove that the plan was to communicate Herta's guest outing to the public only a few days before the race to cause a surprise. But Red Bull later decided not to go through with it and withdraw the entry. While the exact reason for scrapping the entry is not clear, it could have something to do with Red Bull giving up on the possibility of Herta joining the Formula One grid next season with AlphaTauri. Sorry. Can't read. Too many alphas in this sport at the moment. Okay, the energy drinks giant had been hoping that the FIA would offer a special dispensation for a super license to Herta, who has only 32 of the 40 points required to be eligible for a Grand Prix seat. How do you get these points? What? It's something to do with F2 and F1, isn't it? F2, F3 getting places. don't know. But once it became clear that the FIA wasn't going to make an exemption for the 22-year-old, Red Bull abandoned its efforts to get hold of him, and it might have led to the team cancelling his DTM entry. Well, we're not going to spend any money on him, are we? What's the point? What is the point? What is known that a planned DTM outing would not have been to help Herta land a super license, as guest entries are not eligible for championship points. Instead, it was to offer Red Bull a great marketing opportunity for its home DTM event, for which it always has something special lined up. Now, there's no Formula One car in this picture. Jesus, chat for shy people. Oh, what? How's that got on there? Jesus Christ. I apologise to all people watching this podcast for the advertising there. I'm going to get rid of that. That's mental. I don't know how that come on. Okay, there's Colton Herta, good looking man that he is. Okay, let's go to the next story. Accept. This is motorsport.com again, the brother to the sister website. So if they're half brother, half sister to that website, I don't know what kind of relation. Anyway, so this is how Formula One ended up with its grueling 24 race calendar for 2023. Let's have a look at this. For those working in the paddock, it was the first sign of just how many weekends would be spent away from home next year. People joked about the upcoming boom in business for divorce lawyers around Oxford. What is going on in this article? Around Oxfordshire, where most F1 teams are based. Okay, well, I get it. I don't know what to say about that. What? Anyway, okay. I'm going to start this article again. For those working in the paddock, it was the first sign of just how many weekends would be spent away from home next year. People joked about the up-and-coming boom in business for divorce lawyers around Oxfordshire, where most F1 teams are based, and shuddered at the copious amount of time about to be spent on flights through next season. Strange. Anyway, the number of races is not the surprising bit about the calendar. We knew that would be the case, given the plans to add Qatar and Las Vegas, bring back China, oh, really? And keep both Spa and Monaco. Well, you've got to keep Spa. It's awesome. Monaco, safest track on the calendar. That's what I've always said. The 24 race limit set by the Concord Agreement. The Concord Agreement. Jesus Christ, it's like the giant Great Reset, isn't it? What is the Concord Agreement? I've heard that somewhere before. Is it just an F1? I bet you it's been used somewhere else. Sorry, people, no, it's just F1. The Concord Agreement is a contract between the FIA and the Formula One teams and the Formula One group. Oh, I'm not even going to bother with that. Sorry, everybody. Got sidetracked. I was always going to hit. Let's just see where the list is. Just show us the list. Where's the list? Where's the calendar? 24 races. No, there's not going to. Why show us a list? Okay, I'm bored with that story. I'm not a fan of this motorsport.com using big words and weird. Okay. RN365. This is an article by RN365, which is, I presume, it does more motorsport. Don't know what else it does. Steiner, it's a 50-50 chance Schumacher stays at Haas in 2023. So the German's future remains uncertain, but Steiner is not ruling out Schumacher staying for a third season. What's going on here? I mean, it's been up and down for him, isn't it? Yeah, ignore that. Up and down for Schumacher. So let's read if there's any actual quote. Gunther Steiner rates Michael Schumacher's chances of... So he rates it. Oh, I thought he really rates him as he likes it. Gunther Steiner rates Mick Schumacher's chances of staying at the F1 Haas team in 2023 as 50-50, which is just might be and might not, isn't it, really? The 2020 Formula 2 champion made his debut in an uncompetitive 21 car before enduring a trouble start to his second year in the Grand Prix racing. Within the first 6 races, Saudi Arabia and Monaco, he crashed heavily, destroying one. They go on about this because this costs a lot of money. Steiner then publicly challenged Schumacher to prove his form if he wanted to stay, with a fine effort and likely run to the point halted by an engine failure in Canada before he scored points in Britain and Austria. Basically, he got the hurry up, didn't he? The upgrades for Haas since Hungary have not worked as intended. Well, he's been finishing in front of Magnussen, hasn't he? K-Mag's already signed, though, isn't he? That's the problem. So, where's the K-Mag music? There we go. It's beautiful. I'd sign him. Absolutely. Just for his looks. Okay, that's that. Okay. Where were we? However, Schumacher's future is not certain, with the Haas boss rating his chances of remaining alongside Kevin Magnussen as even money. Dan Magnussen, who returned Dan Magnussen. It's his cousin. The Dane Magnussen, who returned this season after a year out in 2021, has a contract for next year, having signed a multi-year deal after replacing the sacked Nikita Mazepin. Okay. We are still looking at what is best for the team, Steiner explained to Lola One. What is that? Is that a different website? Do we only look at, that's a question, come on Wayne, do we only look at the technique or the qualities a driver brings? Question. I'll be honest, I'm not doing his voice, okay, because it will just sound either bigoted or so. I'll be honest, we do not know if Mick will stay at or not. He had very good races in Canada, Britain and Austria, but he lacks consistency. He should be strong more often. We are in no rush with drivers, and Mick still has opportunities to show what he can do. Further speaking to RTL, not Russia Today, Steiner added that the team needed to be careful in making its decision. You put pressure on someone, and we can't do that. It would be. This is him saying he's putting pressure on people. The way he's spoken. Anyway, it would be shooting ourselves in the foot. This is the man himself saying it. We don't have time pressure, and it is what all the other teams want. It's an advantage that we don't want to take away from ourselves. I don't know. Let me read that again. We don't have time pressure. Why? What is this? Oh, crikey. Right. We don't have time pressure, and it is what all the other teams want. It's an advantage that we don't want to take away from ourselves. No, I don't understand that. Is it me? Is it me? I'm not understanding that. Next story. This is from a website called Crash. F1 boss Stefano Domas. I can never pronounce his name. We don't need new teams like Andretti. I don't think they do need any more teams, and I don't think they need to constantly be obsessed with pleasing America. We've got to break America. We've got to break America. Jesus, they've got a big American audience anyway. It's very popular in America now. We don't need to keep doing this. Haas has been the only recent team. Is that a spelling mistake on here? F1 boss Stefano Domas says adding new teams to the grid isn't a priority for the sport despite interest from Andretti. Haas has been the only RestNet new team. We can't complain. I had a spelling mistake on this podcast for a long time, so I can't complain. New team entry, joining F1 in 2016, with the sport sticking with 10 constructors heading into 2023. Many pundits have questioned whether F1 needs one or two more teams to accommodate some of the great talent on the sidelines. Andretti has expressed strong desire to enter Formula One, but it has been met with some resistance, most notably from Stefano and Mercedes chief Toto Wolff. No, Michael, no. Yeah, this is just there's a picture of the old Colton Herta looking pretty. What's this news story? Another news story. One more news story, then I think we're going to go to predicting the teams for next year. Okay, so one more news story. Horner wants to inflict pain on Toto. So that's just a clickbait headline, isn't it? Red Bull team boss what is going on? I need a drink. Red Bull team boss Christian Horner wants to dominate F1 in the coming years and thus inflict pain. Oh, so he doesn't want to. He wants to. So literally, he didn't say that, didn't he? But what you're saying? What is this? TheJudge13.com. Absolute drivel. Daily Formula One news opinion and inside whispers. Okay. Why are you dressed like a judge? Are you really a judge? Grow up. Right, okay, let's set. Where's the quote? Let's see. Horner wants to inflict pain on Toto. You can just pinch him, couldn't you? Pinch him just at the back of the elbow. Right there. Just pinch him there. Job done. Okay, I think. Oh, let's just go one more. Let's go one more. Okay, guys. Sad music here. Latifi to leave Williams at end of 2022 F1 season. That's right. Nicholas Latifi is out. Okay? He's out. This is from motorsport.com, the second cousin of the half-brother of Motorsport's sister paper. And the website, Christ knows, but it's gendered. Okay. Nicholas Latifi. We'll miss that smile. Someone's got to be at the back. And he was on... Someone's got to be at the back. I mean, who's it going to be? Get to the back. It's going to be Schumacher, and he'll be at the back again next year. Well, we don't know. Invariably, it's whoever's going to be sat in a Williams. Let's be honest. Okay. Oh, I'm just being horrible. Okay, let's just... You've got abuse online. Let's have a look. But following his crash in last year's Abu Dhabi... Oh, this is from last year, where his accidental Abu Dhabi season finale, and the impact of the subsequent safety car on the championship, Latifi was subject to death threats and significant abuse. What is wrong with people? Does that happen in any other sports? Would I send a death threat to Ronnie O'Sullivan for beating someone at snooker? I mean, just I'm going to kill you. I'm going to find where you live, Ronnie. I wouldn't go for Ronnie. I think he's got gangster parents. But why do people do it? Why would you threaten to kill someone over a Formula One race? As much as I love, and for a long time, I've loved Formula One. Love it a long time. Again, grow up. Why would you threaten to kill someone? What kind of people are you? That would impact you mentally. Yeah, if someone's like... Incitement to violence. I mean, there's one thing calling names. You know it's free speech and all that. Blah, 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 blah. That's incitement to violence. If I posted you a letter anonymously saying I'm going to kill you, what's the difference? What's the difference? Well, obviously the difference is it's on paper and it's coming through your letterbox. It's not on your computer screen. But what I'm saying is there isn't much of a difference, is there? I don't know. I don't know why people do it. Why do people do it? Okay. So we can safely say we've done the F1 news now to death, haven't we? So what we're going to do now is, sorry, I'm just looking at the screen. Not my hair. I wasn't doing that. Okay, wasn't doing that. Now, after this short break, we're going to go for some predictions. Okay, that's the intro to predictions. Now I'm going to do the predictions for the team's lineups for next year. I've got myself a cup of tea now because of my dry mouth from talking, and let's just share the screen and we can talk about who we think is going to be in next year's lineup. Okay, so there's the button, share screen, desktop 2, share. Okay, I made a nice PowerPoint as well. Let's have a look. Let's do that. Okay, people, here we go. Let's go. Right, so we know that Red Bull, let's be honest, Red Bull is confirmed already. Let's go to the Red Bull team there. Let's draw on there. Is it? Oh, come on, pen, work. Why is it? Pen. There you go. Pen. It is Verstappen. Put my writing. It's rubbish on this. Verstappen and Perez. I don't know whether maybe Red Bull might be regretting keeping this guy on. Perez. He hasn't really done as well the second half of the season. Sainz and Leclerc. I'll put Le, because we know they're staying, aren't we? They're there. They've got their contracts all nicely sorted. Leclerc. I don't know whether Leclerc might be regretting staying with Ferrari. Oh, please, come on. Let's be nice. Just be nice about this, right? Okay. So we know we've got the GOAT. GOAT is staying there at Mercedes, and Russell, who's done a sterling job. Let's just put Russ there. Now this is the thing, isn't it? This is Alpine. No Ocon's staying. Ocon there. That's one of the ones that's empty. Don't know why there are funny old marks on the screen here for doing this. If you're listening on the podcast, I've just got a PowerPoint up with all the teams, and I'm just filling in the blanks for who's staying next year. McLaren, got Norris. No, I'll put Norris there. Norris and Piastri. I'll just put, it's easier to put the word snake, but I don't know. Snaky. I'm going to put Snaky. I think I spelt that wrong. Alfa Romeo, we've got Bottas, but they haven't confirmed Joe Guan Yu yet. So I'll leave that blank, but they are expected to. This is the expectation, Bottas. So I'll just put you. I can't spell it. The letters and the words don't match up to me. I'm sorry, but they don't. So I'll put you there with a question mark, right? Okay. So now we get into the thicker stuff here. Haas. I've got K-Mag is definitely staying. And why wouldn't he? I mean, just look at the guy. K-Mag. Now, AlphaTauri. Now, they just re-signed Tsunoda. I'll put TS there. And this is one of our blank seats here. Now, if Gasly's not staying there, who's going to get that seat? There's lots of rumours. Okay. Let's go to Aston Martin. Who is in Aston Martin? Alonso is there. And I have completely forgotten who drives next to Alonso. So I'll come back to it. Isn't that bad? So Albon is staying. Albon. Who drives? Albon is staying at Williams. So there's a seat there. What's his name? This comes with age. Don't get old. Okay. Oh, this is just going to bug me now. Who drives it? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we've got Williams. It's got a seat. Haas has a seat, so let's get a question mark here. Let's get a pen on there. Pen on there. Okay. So who is going to fill these seats up for next year at these teams? So now there's been a test, a much hyped test. Alpine did a test at Hungary, and they're testing out Giovinazzi of all people. Yeah, I know, Giovinazzi, and they tested out my old mate Nick de Vries. I think he's a prospect, and this Dohan fella. Forgive me, I just don't know anything about this because there was never so much hype around future Formula One drivers. Watching it, but then watching it back when I started, there was no, hype around it. You just got the race, and that was it, And they didn't talk about next year. I'm trying to. Let me just. I'm sorry, this is terrible. It's just completely gone out of my head. Alpine drivers. I know, it's terrible as an F1 fan. Alpine F1 racing team. Why is it? I've forgotten his name. Alpine. That's not Alpine, is it? You don't want Alpine. It is. Oh my God. This is terrible of me. Aston. F1. It's just gone out of my head. I'm going to kick myself now. F1 team, drivers. Stroll. Oh my God. This is meant to be a reputable. It's not reputable. We never promised it to be reputable. So leave me alone. Stroll. How ridiculous. Stroll. Right, so what we have here is Williams have got a seat. AlphaTauri, suspected seat. Haas, suspected seat. Joe Guanyu's going to probably sign. And Alpine here is going to have Piastri, isn't he? Is it? Am I getting? No, of course not. Of course not. That's what I've been going on about all season. Of course he's not going to be there. That's the Alpine. That's the other seat that's going. So there's a question mark there. Okay. So who is going to be in these seats? Now I'm going to make predictions on this. So let's go back. So let's go Alpine, which obviously lost Oscar Piastri through that completely honourable action of his, and Alpine did tests with Giovinazzi, De Vries, and Dohan, but there's rumours about Gasly. Now, I don't know about this. Why? No, I'm only checking personal preference. I'm not suggesting who will go there or who is likely to go there. I'm saying who I would like to see in that seat. I would like to see De Vries there. He had a test, and after his fine outing at Monza, I think he deserves it. I think the boy deserves a good chance in a middling team. The one thing I'd hate him to end up in is something like Williams, an obvious talent at Williams, and it'll just be at the back, tootling around. And Dohan, I don't know anything about him at all. In fact, I only just realised who he was this week. So let me think. And then there's Schumacher floating around. Danny Rick, it's over. I'm going to have to say that because it is. The guy is going to take a year out. He's got to. I don't think we'll see him back. Just don't think the guy's coming back. But then where's Gasly? Gasly might have to stay at AlphaTauri. Tauri. What do you reckon? Now this becomes about what I want and a stone cold prediction. And there's rumours about Hulkenberg as well. I don't think he should be back. As much as I like the guy, he seems like a nice guy. Let me just take a sip of my tea. He's not really performed when he has jumped in the cars. I mean, De Vries jumping in a car and getting there. Now, what do I want? I'm going to go with what people are saying. I'm going to go Gasly, although I don't want it. Gasly at Alpine. Then there'll be a hole in Alpha. The Tauri, too many Alphas. Joe Granny, yeah. So AlphaTauri, and there's still the hole in Haas, which could be Shuey. No one said anything about Danny Rick. So I just can't call it. I don't know. What are we going to call here for these? Colton Herta is out of this race now, and the good-looking fella that he is, he's not going to be in a F1 car. We've got Logan Sargent. Never heard of him. I don't know. This is where I need Brendan. He knows all this. Logan Sargent. See, people are saying that it's going to be the Hulk. And do I go with what I want? Or do I go with a prediction? I reckon they'll give Schumacher another go. I reckon he's going to stay. I'm going to put Schumacher there. That's what I'm going to say. Whether he deserves it, he deserves it just as much as the Hulk does. The Hulk's got the experience, but they got an experienced driver. Now they got an underperforming, some would say, driver. He's been there a couple of years, but he's not as experienced as K-Mag. So I reckon Schumacher might stay there. Now AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri. So if he doesn't move, but he is moving, Nick De Vries could be there. This is tough. So, and Williams, we've still got a little gap at Williams there as well, haven't we, for next year? I don't want him at Williams, but maybe they can entice him. He seemed to fit in the car. There, Vries, I'm putting in there. Vries, can I spell this right? That's a funny old name. I'm going Nick De Vries there. So we've got Alonso, Stroll in Aston Martin, Williams, Albon, De Vries. So who am I going to put in that AlphaTauri seat? I can't see Hulkenberg coming back. I just can't see it. Danny Rick, no. And this Dohan fella, Well, I've run out of options, haven't I? This Logan Sargent. Has he got an option for AlphaTauri? I think Tsunoda keeping him on was a bad move. Have I said that already? Probably. Let me think now. Let me think. Who is Logan Sargent? Let's find out. Let's just find out right now. Let's just find out Logan Sargent. Let's see this guy in the flesh. I can make a mind up now. Let's have a look. Logan Sargent. They've all got these kind of odd names. Logan Sargent. Let's have a look at this guy. Wikipedia. What's he done? Logan Hunter Sargent. That's a beautiful name. Karting career, lower formula. Well, he's there with a Williams t-shirt on. Karting formula lower. Let's see. Third, first. I don't know why I'm reading this. It gives us no real Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Gives us no real insight, does it? Looking at a Wikipedia page sometimes, as you could tell by Andrea de Chazus's. Right. Yeah, so that's given me absolutely no help whatsoever there. So I think we could safely say that's no help. Okay, so let's see. Will he end up there? I'll put Logan there. I know he's got a contract with Williams, does he? I don't know. I don't understand. As I said, contracts mean nothing these days. So there's my predictions for next year. Look at that. So what we got? Verstappen, Perez, yeah. So Gasly to Alpine alongside Ocon. Norris and Snakey. Bottas and Joe Guan Yu is yet to be confirmed. K-Mag at Haas with... I think he will stay. I do think he might just stay. As you can see, no Ricciardo. AlphaTauri, Tsunoda, and that Logan Sargent or Sargent Logan. Hunter Sargent Logan Sargent. Is that the one? Alonso and Stroll, Albon and De Vries. So that's my lineup, guys, for next year. That's my little prediction. I think I probably... a lot of it is what I want to see as opposed to what will actually happen. So we'll get... When Brendan gets back, he can do his little predictions. He's quite good at them now, I hear. And yeah, we can see moving forward. I love that term, moving forward. Okay, so when is the next race? Let's have a look at the next race now. Okay, so next race is Singapore. Singapore Grand Prix. Singapore Grand Prix. October the 2nd. What's the date today? It's not, it's more than a week away, isn't it? I did plan on giving you some old school sort of stuff. Have some more sort of nostalgia Grand Prix stuff. Let's just start sharing this. Share screen again. Share. Okay, so let's have a look. Singapore Grand Prix. Marina. Is that the one that starts in daylight, or is it all night time? Is it all a night race? It is all a night race. Back to the darkness, people, for the night race. So Sunday, the 2nd of October. Yes, Marina 2nd. What's the fastest lap? Who won it last year? Grand Prix 2021. Let's have a look. Who won that last year? Verstappen or Hamilton? Let's be honest. It's got to be in it. Just give me the results. Oh, for crying out loud. Was it not on last year? Both 20 and 21 iterations of the event were cancelled due to COVID. Oh, right. Oh, no. Wow. I stand corrected. A little bit disappointed in myself there. But then again, I couldn't even remember who Lance Stroll was about 10 seconds ago, so perhaps I should shut my mouth. What's the fastest lap then? Let's just get the fastest lap. 2022, 2020. Oh, where's it gone? It's gone. I've just shut the page, you wally. Let's get rid of that now. Keep that. Where is it? No, that's Logan Sargent. Poor Grand Prix fastest lap. Oh, you can't argue with it. Fastest lap by K-Mag in 2008? No. What, 2018? Oh, God. I think really we should stop there. On this music. Got to stop sharing. K-Mag, fastest lap. Oops. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the F1 Show podcast on my own. How about that? I need a round of applause for myself there. I made it through on my own. All those mistakes. Just to reiterate, K-Mag has the fastest lap at the Singapore Grand Prix from 2018. And we'll catch you next week on the F1 Show podcast. Hopefully, Brendan will be back. Well, that stopped suddenly. So we'll see you next week.